This component could be the one that's setting the new benchmark and new highest standard for portable high fidelity sound. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share my experience of just released Hi-Fi Audio IDSD GR2 featuring 4900 milliamp hour lithium battery inside. It has dual port, or you can use single port, dedicated power supply charging port USB-C, data port USB-C, digital inputs, line level inputs, headphone outputs, 3.5 and 4.4. One of the most powerful portable headphone amplifier stage that it can put out over 1500 milliwatt of power output at 32 ohm load if you are using 4.4 millimeter balanced output out of this GR2, which is incredible amount of power. Totally impressed me in the way that it can drive comfortably, easily driven all of the headphones that I try with. And line output stage, it works great. When I tested on my desktop setup, I'm using 4.4 millimeter balanced out to standard XLR wide cable to my Yamaha Studio monitors, and it sounded natural and organic, revealing sound with good refinements in across the frequency range, particularly bass quality and mid-range. Beautiful mid-ranges, very well delivered thanks to upgraded chip, that is PCM 1795 bar Brown chip that they upgraded on this GR2, plus upgraded amplifier chip to give us even better power delivery, and price is $529. Build quality is beautiful and excellently built for in and out on both sides, and it has step volume control to totally get rid of channel imbalance, as well as OLED display, touch display that you can control the menu system. Let's go through the menu here. In my main system, this GR2 is connected with Hi-Fi silent power supply. This is USB-C. This is just for music playback directly from Eva Solo T10. This one is 3.5 stereo to standard RCA wide cable to my main amplifier. When I'm playing DSD music, this GR2 totally disables these tuning options like K2 and K2 HD, or this filter option. These are all disabled. Other than this bass option, those are analog features. To get into the menu, hit this gear icon, and these are all the settings that you can enable and disable. I'm using line output hybrid mode. So hybrid mode is pretty much a desktop mode that is using this power supply for music playback. Push and hold this. You can change to speaker output and headphone output. I turn volume control knob all the way down to 1 to use this line level output. So that's my setting. Then I can totally use line level output without playing headphone stage. So that is a little trick that I learned. I use the standard option most of the time when I'm playing PCM and line level output and K2 tuning that I like to use with my main system. It gives me more air and space when I'm playing music. And next thing is this input selector. You can change Bluetooth. These are all the inputs that it has. It even has line level input that you can use. It has to be like this kind of white cable. And next thing is, if you change to GTO, it's gonna totally upsample to 192K. Everything combined, this is just setting the new benchmark in this price point, or could be one of the best under $1,000 price range as far as sound quality, power delivery, and portability and features and everything combined. It has K2 HD, and those are tuned in Japan at JVC Victor Studio to get natural, organic, realistic sound quality back into digital music, which is working beautifully because standard option without K2 option enabled, it sounded slightly flat. And then the lingering notes or those after effects or decays or texture are not as present as listening with bigger, higher end decks. Most of the portable decks and components are. As soon as I enable that K2 HD with these two speakers and Accuface E4000, my jaw was on the floor when I'm listening. I was like, wow, this is much improved. Thanks to that PCM 1795 chip, everything improved as well as sound quality. When I'm testing battery life of this GR2, battery lasted over 6 hours. Driving soon to be reviewed. Mezi Audio 105 Silver had D1 open back and Variant 1, Sony MDR 7506, and all those headphones that I tried, thoroughly impressed by the way that it can drive. My setting of this GR2 when I'm using Variant 1 is standard setting, 0 dB gain, no filter options or no tuning option. That's how I like to listen. When I'm using this Head Audio D1, gain is plus 6 dB, and I like to use standard. When I'm using Mezi Audio 105 Silver, I like to use K2 HD, gain at plus 6 dB to give me open, spacious, and dynamic sound. It has rich tonality with forgiving higher range of frequencies, yet still retaining all musical notes and resolution as well as separation between the notes. I wouldn't call it totally airy in sound like tube headphone stages, but it get the job done and it give you impressive stereo image and depth and sound staging that you can enjoy in your head when you're wearing headphones. So that is one of my favorite pairing. Right when I try GTO filter with any of those headphones, it's totally oversampled, right? Higher range of frequency extensions are a little artificial for my taste, so I end up not using that. So that depends on your taste and pairing component. When I started listening in this main system, I connected to this Eva Solo T10 digital transport using internal solid state drive to listen my music. Type of the music won't matter. Modern music to classical to whatever the music you play with this IDSD GR2, it will deliver faithfully, naturally, and best of all, organic feeling, sound quality. Bass quality out of this IDSD GR2 is rich and articulated bass with good note separation, well delivered with nice depth and attack in it. Overall soundstage is totally improved thanks to that without enabling extra bass options, just using standard. Whether sometimes I enable K2 option, it has open and spacious sound, engaging tonality with musicality that come along with it, nice pronounced mid-range with good stereo image. It may not be as tall as my reference decks or anything in that kind of area, imaging and depth and all that, but it get the job done and recreate musical soundscape beautifully, organically in tonality and balance of the music that it can reproduce is very impressive for portable device. Whenever I listen to PCM chips, I always enjoy tonality and balance and organic sound that they can offer. This is another one of those. When you compare to Gryphone previous generation, everything is improved, as you can see on this back-to-back comparison. I mean, totally outshine and outclassed original Gryphone in this GR2 version. Sound quality itself, I would say, more neutral compared to previous generation, more precision to it, as well as cleaner background. Not only that, when I compare to COT the Mojo 2, right? Mojo 2 was one of the component that those the distributor or their sellers took advantage of us, because one time when they're at peak, they are almost selling like $800 a few years back. So when I compare it back to back, I mean, Mojo 2 has all that transparency and resolving sound and everything that they are good at. But when I compare with this iFi GR2, it totally shows me what the musicality is as far as the headphone stage and everything goes. I mean, when you see this kind of a detailed comparison chart, you will see it here on my screen, and this is going to be totally, I mean, this GR2 totally outclassed Mojo 2 in everything pretty much. This is a great option for us to consider in like $500 to $1,000 price range. Effortless power to drive pretty much all the headphones that you can think of. Price to sound quality ratio, features and functions and everything that come with it, I would say $529 is great bargain. And it also have Nexus app that you can control, but I use iOS device, so I can't do much. Just see the device and connect and play low quality AAC through, Apple iPhones. I wish I have Android smart devices to test it out. One more thing that I like to add to this review is this iFi ACI purifier. This one is line level noise reduction system. So you just plug in next to wherever your power supply is. I tried this on my streaming setup. I was surprised how this one can improve in background clarity and darkness. Smaller notes and nuances and those kind of less noticeable notes are more elevated. Also tried this in main system where I plug in iFi's power supply. This one doesn't come with a power supply, by the way. So I plug it on top of the iFi power supply, and it's not gonna be night and day. It's clearer and more precise stereo image and notes that it can deliver. So your equipment is getting less noise. This one is absorbing and cleaning it up. This one can take up to 22,000 joules of surge power. And if you can do not only that, this one can check polarity and proper ground, or all those options available. If you hit this gray button, it will light up. If it's something is wrong, this will display. So that is a good option to have. Sell for like $130. It has the ground plug that you can plug into. These kind of components are highly beneficial if you live in older houses, multiple family, like big buildings, and those kind of area are always prone to have EMI, RFI, line level noise, and polarity issues and all that. So this is a good investment. They have a few different versions. This is a US version. So this one can go anywhere that you has a power output. So price to performance of this iFi IDSD GR2 is you got driving power, mobility, as well as top-notch digital to analog converter with a bunch of functions and features that you can use. You can even use it as line level DAC if you wanted to. right? You just need to have a right cable to do that. So that i5 IDSD-GR2 is one of the great buys. If you want to even enhance your listening experience while you're using it on your desktop setup, I can easily recommend this ACI Purifier. This is just plug and play and get the job done. So that is my experience that I like to share with you. Highly recommended, my friend. Thank you for watching and happy listening.
There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly led me to
bass, Mr. Torigoe Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Onuma Yosuke-san. Yeah.